Hello, everybody. Happy Samhain! I love you. So happy to be able to talk again. So let's clear the air a little bit. If you are coming across this video and you are feeling some stress, take 3 deep breaths. And as you exhale, release whatever you do not need into the smoke. Let it lift and rise from you just like smoke. 3 breaths, 1 for the mind. Oh, Debbie. 1 for the mind, 1 for the body, 1 for the soul. And give yourself permission to come into your center. My name is Jules Aradia, and this is a distance Reiki full moon healing video with a focus on ancestral healing and enhancing our life force energy through Reiki. Callie, nice to see you. And I coming into this tonight, it's potent energies that are happening around us right now as we get closer to Samhain on the 31st, which is a time when we honor our beloved dead and our holy and redeemed ancestors. And I'm going to be inviting them in a little bit to do some healing work with us. And I would like to extend an invitation to those of you who have healing gifts or magical gifts to help, and our priestesses or priests, can you please help hold space with me so that we can co-create a beautiful healing experience together. I would really appreciate that, and I want to thank you in advance for your help and assistance. Spirit has been telling me to share little bits about myself and my journey, a little bit more here, a little bit more there, as I'm called to. And Jules Aradia is not my given name. It is a magical name that I have chosen for myself, and it's a living spell that I'm weaving in this world. It's kind of scary to put myself out there, but I'm doing it. Okay. Kind of coming out of the broom closet, but Aradia, the story behind Aradia. As Orion Foxman would say, when the world needed power, God made Aradia. To me, Aradia is a collective consciousness that is rising among us right now. But Aradia historically is the name of a 13th century witch. And Christianity tells the tales of Jesus being the Son of God. Well, Aradia was the first female avatar of the goddess Diana, who's a goddess of the moon, the full moon. Actually, the stone, I usually tell you guys what stones to work with, and selenite is aligned with the moon. So we're going to be working with selenite. If you have some on you, go ahead and grab that. But Aradia was a 13th century witch that led a revolution. She taught the poor and enslaved, the oppressed, witchcraft to help them become liberated. And when I was first attuned to Reiki, way over a decade ago, I started remembering. I got activated, and I started remembering past lifetimes, and I started being able to sense the thread that runs through all things and work with that thread. And I started becoming aware of greater patterns in the universe, and I was drawn to work more with astrology, which really got me in touch with my star walker soul, or that part of us that is said to walk among the stars. And so there's this been remembering, this reclaiming for myself for the past decade especially, but there were certain things that were meant to be hidden until till now, partially because I wasn't ready, partially because we all weren't really ready. But what's been coming through right now to share with you is that we are in a very potent time for transformation. And as I step more and live as Jules Aradia, my birth name is Julie that I was given, and Jules is a derivative of that. And it's me having reclaimed the many aspects of myself, and as a holism, a sparkly person, if you will. But such a dork. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you for witnessing me as it's kind of scary to like talk about certain things, but here we are. As we move through this transit right now with this full moon, it brings a lot of really potent energies. You know, when the moon is full, it's opposite the sun. Tomorrow, the sun moves into the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is, they say it's the sign of the witch. It's all about transformation and alchemy, but alchemy and transformation through other, merging with other. It's like losing yourself in it can be in a relationship with another human that transforms you, or the universe as a whole itself. For our working today, that would be Reiki energy. And so it's like we're merging with our infinite Reiki conscious self, which is connected to which is sometimes called prana or life force or chi. But it's, you know, if we have a resistance to life and a resistance to the aliveness that is within us, then we slow down the flow and we block the flow of our life force energy as it flows through us. So there's this really deep work that we're being summoned to do at this time. For a couple weeks now, Venus has been retrograde, and it's making this transit across the sun. It's moving in front of the face of the sun. It disappears from our vision. Actually, Venus is going through what they call like an underworld journey. It goes, before it made this retrograde or transit, it was I believe it was the evening star, and now it's doing this transit in front of the sun. And when it comes out on the other side, we'll be able to see it again, but we'll see Venus as the morning star. So this journey is like an underworld journey, because when we can't see things, when things are veiled or obscured or hidden, it's you know, it's placed in like this unconscious realm, often related to like the underworld. Our unconscious, that which is not known, that which is not seen, or that is where parts of us that we're unearthing. Deep parts of us that we are unearthing. So this is bringing you back to Jules Aradia. It's like, the Aradia story is basically me continuing the work of helping bring liberation and healing and transformation to those who are seeking it, to those who need it. And so these monthly video live streams that I've been doing are my sacred offering to help hold space for that. I believe that well, science is showing us now that we are evolving. I was just reading an article today. It was actually written in 2013. I'm like, oh my God. And it was talking about, it was Dr. Berenda Fox, Berrendafos. Was working. They discovered that basically our DNA is evolving constantly. It's shape-shifting all the time. The food that we put into our body, the air that we breathe, the environment that we're in, our thoughts, how our thoughts affect our emotions and what emotions we soak in, all of this has an effect on our DNA. As Dr. Fox is saying that for the past, well, it was written 5 years ago, and he said 5 to 20 years for the past, so about 10 to 25 years from today ago, about it, almost a generation, says we've been mutating. This has been going on, and about, I want to say, it was about 8 years ago, a little boy, Alfie Clamp, was born, and he actually had 3 strands of DNA and all kinds of other health complications. But they're discovering more and more humans are being born with more strands of DNA, and they theorize that we are going to be evolving up to 12 strands of DNA. So all these superhero stories that are coming out and these movies that are coming out about these mutants, and we're mutating. We mutate. We're shape-shifting. We are changing. And change is the only constant that we have. The only thing that we can do as conscious beings is direct how we want that change to manifest. And hey, Wilson, good to see you. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And my fascination with ancestral healing. Okay. There's more people that just joined us. So let's just take 3 deep breaths and center ourselves in our heart in the now moment. And let's go ahead and invite in our loved ones, those that guide us, guard us, and bless us and watch over us. And as we breathe, let's also be aware of the earth below us and the sky above us. And as you exhale, go deep within yourself. Let yourself flow down, 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 like the waterfall of energy from above flows down through us. Follow that flow. Let yourself follow that flow, that stream, and flow down beneath the surface of the earth. And I want you to find what I call the earth grid. There's a web of energy. It's like a web of light beneath the soil. It's like a lattice of, maybe it's, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's there, and there's patterns, and they're linked from different places of power. And some of it can move and shift. I think there's a connection to the ley lines and the dragon lines and the snake lines. But when I drop down, I feel this. It's like plugging into the mainframe or plugging into the earth, or the earth as the system of life here on earth. Sometimes as humans, as our ego feels separated and is divergent and feels separate from source, we don't feel connected. So this is a conscious way for us to link our energies through the earth so that we can link and connect as one. Not to give up our free will, but we are linking in intention, with healing intention, in a beauty way, in a loving way, so that we can hold space for ourselves and each other and the land. In a way, this is reclaiming. To me, this feels like it's reclaiming America, reclaiming the sovereignty of the land through us, through this work. So much of the soil has been destroyed by the way that we're not treating the planet as we should. But that's another story. So we're plugging into the matrix, into the earth grid. And as you plug in, draw the energy up from the earth grid. Feel a sense of connectedness to the land where you live, to the life, the systems of life around you, the ecosystems, the system of life in your body, all the systems, the digestive system, the circulatory system, all these systems within you that uphold your life force, like a vessel, like a chalice that holds. And feel that aliveness within you expanding as you breathe. Feel that aliveness. Your chi center is behind the belly button and down. It's between your belly button and your pubic bone. It's down and back. It's the area in our body. The womb is a part of it. Our intestines are a part of it. So it's that part of our body, as women, that can hold and create a life. And it's also that part of us that extracts the life force energy from the food that we consume. So, okay. Thank you, Spirit. And they give me a general idea of what we're going to talk about, and then things come through that need to come through. But they want you to pay attention right now to your belly button. I've been called, and if you have a piece of selenite, you can place it over your belly button. Selenite, yes, it's aligned with the moon. And as the moon gets full, it'll be, powerful to work with. But to me, working with selenite is very much, it helps with integrating. It helps us connect to the etheric realms, the subtle realms, and it helps those energies permeate through us. And there's a lot of integration that needs to happen as we do this healing work. And I've discovered that selenite is really wonderful to work with. I got it so long ago, ego's kind of a funny thing. It sneaks up on you. I got selenite so long ago when I first started healing, and I loved it because it doesn't retain energy. So you don't really have to clean it. I mean, I put it to charge in the sun and the moon, but I don't have, it's not like, it doesn't get gunked up like some other stones did. Here comes the smoke. I just lost my train of thought right there. Okay, so let's just go back to our belly buttons. Let's contemplate our navels. Sorry, I'm a dork. So place your hands over your belly button. Become aware that this is the place, this was the touch me place between you and your mother in the womb, and the placenta that as it was around you, and you were in the womb, you received all the nourishment through that gateway. There's gateways in our body. And actually, as we grew in the womb and we started to form, all the nourishment came in first through there, and we started growing from that point out. And then there's the umbilical cord that goes out and around us. So just kind of like hold yourself in that space and feel, as you breathe, draw in energy through the umbilical cord, through your navel on the in-breath. And as you exhale, place it deeper within you, deeper within your lower tummy, over where your intestines would be. And envision like an envelope or a balloon inflating. And if you can sense this energy as like a peachy pink, orangey peachy pink color, that's kind of what it looks like when you're inside the womb. And they shine that, and they have those pictures. If you can imagine being the embryo in the embryonic state, if you can remember back that far. Okay. Now give me permission to send you Reiki for your highest good. And as you breathe, allow yourself to go back in time. As you exhale, go deeper within yourself. As you breathe, allow yourself to release and let go what you do not need. These next 2 weeks are incredibly potent time for change, and we are being called to actually release and let go. Release and let go. Release and let go. I feel really called to sing a song to invoke the ancestors. This is an invocation written by Orion Foxwood in his book called The Tree of Enchantment. And it's also, I feel the energy. And it's also on his CD, Songs of Enchantment. By the blood and by the bones, by the soil that is your home, by the 13 bells of midnight's ring, by the banshee's voice that wails and sings, by the blood that remembers and the bones that tell, by the hands that reach from the fairy well, by the voice that calls from beyond the mold, by the voices of the new and the memory of old. I call the ancestral shades of the dead by the haunted hand and the speaking head with ink and paper and voice of wind. I call to you, my blessed kin. Ancestral shades and seelie folk, come on a path of fire and smoke. Hearken and hallow this work tonight. Take what's wrong and set things right. By the secrets of the grave and the glory of the moon, grant to me a magic boon. By witch's trance, by witch's spell and witch's trance, join me in this magic dance. For when we dance and fly no more, all will be as it was before. Now the door swings open wide. Come rush to me on Eddie's tide. I write your name in the wings of the wind. Come to me, my blessed kin. Come to me, my blessed kin. Come to me, my blessed kin. So our ancestors are here now. If you can feel them and sense them around you in a circle, if you can feel them upholding you and guiding you and loving you and supporting you. We inherited what they could not resolve. We are the evolved version of all those generations past. We are the one, we have survived. Perhaps we are them reincarnated time and time again through the same bloodline. They say what is remembered lives. And there is deep wisdom within us, within our blood. And these beautiful, amazing beings that we wouldn't have gotten here on our own. We needed them to arrive here, to incarnate here, to have this earth walk. We came here for a reason. All of us together now. We're here to solve the things that our ancestors couldn't solve. We are here to create something that hasn't existed before. So as you breathe, I want you to take 7 deep breaths. And with each of these breaths, I want you to consciously go deeper within yourself. You are crossing a threshold with each breath. I want you to sense yourself moving through each of the chakras. Similar to Inanna going on her underworld journey, she removed her crown first, and she removed her earrings and her necklace, and she removed all these garments. I want you to feel that there is a letting go, a releasing, a giving yourself permission to let go of what you do not need. We're moving into our purest essence. We're detaching from the physical world. We are detaching from the outside world. We are detaching from the particle world, the mundane world, and we are moving into our spiritual body, layer by layer by layer, breath by breath by breath. And sense the color spectrum moving through the colors of the rainbow, beginning with violet. And feel that violet light washing through you, or maybe you are passing through that violet light and flowing down and moving into indigo light. Moving down still, moving into a blue, turquoisey blue around your ears and throat. Breathing that energy, moving down into the area of the heart, filling that area with green light. Opening, descending. It's like you're moving down an elevator, going down an elevator shaft, which is your spinal column now. Going down, down, down to the next layer, to your solar plexus chakra. Filling that area with yellow light. Breathing and moving down, down, down into your sacral center, just below your belly button, filling that with orange light. And breathing deep and going down, down, deeper still into the area of the root chakra, the color red. And moving from the red to infrared. Infrared we cannot see, but we can feel it as heat. Feel that heat. Feel that heat that is your life force. That invisible light. Just breathe in this space for a moment. I'm going to sing the Reiki symbols. With each breath, allow yourself to flow and ebb like the phases of the moon, from full to new and back again. As you breathe, feel yourself expanding. Feel yourself move larger than your body. Feel yourself beyond your body. Feel your spiritual body. Feel your energy body as you breathe very slowly, very gently in and out. It's kind of like liquid, but liquid and air at the same time. And it's almost like this essence or energy undulates through you, because it does. It's you being part of this vast ocean. It's you being connected to a larger stream of life, vast ocean. Allow yourself to sink. I feel like we've been dropped into an ocean, and some of you is heavy, and some of you floats. And I want you to become aware of both. Don't necessarily only go to the bottom, though there are treasures sunken in the deep. Maybe you can be like a mermaid. Go down into the deep places within you, diving and collecting those treasures. But there's a part of you that is buoyant. And there's a part of you that is not separate, but is the ocean, is part of the ocean. Feel these parts, these heavy parts, these light parts, these parts that expand, these denser parts, all the parts. Feel to your subtlest pieces within you. Feel Spirit is reminding me that DNA has a luminous quality to it. It actually consumes light, and in a science lab, they did an experiment with DNA, and then they removed it, and where the DNA was, there was a light, like a light trail. So your DNA consumes light, it shape-shifts, and it leaves like this magical trail of glitter dust wherever it's been, just like you. And I want you to feel into the DNA. In fact, see the double helix like a ladder. And they say that these are the two strands of DNA with all the chromosomes as the rungs of the ladder. Scientists are saying that we're get the rungs of the two strands are like the sides of the ladder. See a third one. So it's like a triangular shaped ladder, if that makes sense to you. If you see a third strand of DNA there. Now, as you breathe and you see this ladder, it's like a ladder of light. And there's like these little lights on it. There's like little red lights and there's like little green lights. And the red lights, it's like something's turned off. I want you you just have to intend to like touch the button and it'll flip it to green. You're going to be turning things green. You're going to be flipping switches on. You're going to be flipping switches off. We are consciously shape-shifting our DNA. It's funny, as a priestess and as a shamanic priestess, I work a lot with the four elements: earth, air, fire, and water, and also the element of spirit, the fifth element. And there are 5 elements actually that make up our DNA. It's made up of carbon, which is connected to the element of earth; hydrogen, which is connected to the element of water; oxygen, which is connected to the element of air; nitrogen, which gives spark and is connected to the element of fire; and phosphorus, which is where the whole light, the luminous quality comes in, the light aspect. So we are made of these 5 elements that are woven through us and are weaving through us and are changing with us as we move through the seasons, as we breathe. want you to see yourself. There's something called the bone ladder that was a visual that was used in a lot of shamanic traditions to go on a descent down into the underworld, or descending down a vine, or going down into a well to go into these underworld or these deeper places within. Your ladder is your DNA. So I want you to see you climbing down your ladder, and every rung that you touch, you change. Everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. Ask your ancestors to help you release and let go of what you do not need, what you do not need to carry forward. Those genetic markers, those genetic predispositions that we have for certain diseases, we can turn those off. Let us ask our ancestors for guidance on that right now. And I'm going to sing, and I'm going to hold space through sacred tone right now to do that. Oh, Wazi Honei Wazi Take a deep breath and give yourself permission, again, to just release anything you do not need. And drawing down a waterfall of light to cleanse away the cobwebs and the cords and anything you do not need, anything that might be keeping you stuck. And I am building a sphere with a Merkaba inside of it and placing it around us as a collective. And then I'm multiplying it and placing one of those around each of us, and then around each chakra, and around every cell and your DNA. I want you to feel this sphere of energy around you like a bubble that is holding you It's like a semi-permeable membrane that is going to allow in healthy and helpful energies, but will keep out anything you do not need. And let's just sense again your ancestors, those that are human ancestors that are connected to you through your bloodline, those holy and redeemed ancestors. See them around you in a circle. I also feel them holding you on either side, upholding you, helping you feel strong, supporting you right now. Supporting all of us. A man named Adrian taught me this song when in Stanton Drill, Stone Circle. We are tomorrow's ancestors, the future of yesterday, and what we are in the here and now goes rippling out always, goes rippling out always. We thank Reiki, our guides, our ancestors, for helping us with this healing session. Stay if you will, go if you must. Hail and farewell and blessed be. Thank you. Surround all of this session with light and love, and thank you for participating and holding space with me as we move through these potent transits. Transformation is happening right now. And this window of the next 2 weeks is going to be very potent, deep change, transformation. Give yourself permission to let go. Let the trees remind us of how beautiful it is to let go. Venus goes direct on the 6th of November, which is also voting day here. And and the next day, it's also the dark moon. The next day is the new moon. So we're in this window of time where the veil is thin, the veil between worlds, the spirit world and the physical world are embracing each other. Our ancestors are here dancing in our blood. And as we put out offerings for them and remember them and build altars of memory to them, to honor their memory, to remember them, they live on through us. One of the things you might want to do that I love doing on Samhain is called a dumb dinner, where you have a silent meal. You invite your ancestors to join you for dinner, and you set a setting for them, and you have your meal in silence, and you ask to communicate with them, and it can be just you, or you can do this as a group, and then everybody shares after the meal, what their experiences were. But it's a way, being in silence and being still like the earth, is a way to connect. It's also a way that we can hear them. And now I've noticed very powerfully in the last week, especially the father line has been coming through a lot with messages of love and protection around us. And talk to them, because they're there. They're around you. They love you. They're nearby. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you. And until next time, merry meet and merry part, and may we merry meet again. Blessed be.